Hi everyone, I'm Alan Wong, Public Information Officer for the Contra Costa County Employment and Human Services Department. Welcome to a forum of candidates running for one seat for the Martinez Unified School District. For the first time, Martinez Unified School District trustees will be selected by districts. Previously, Martinez voters selected candidates for at-large positions. Trustees for the Martinez Unified School District each represent a specific district. This race is for District 3. Today's forum is sponsored by the Contra Costa Elections Division, Contra Costa Television, the League of Women Voters of Diablo Valley, and the League of Women Voters of West Contra Costa. We're recording these roundtable discussions here in the studios of Contra Costa Television. The candidates are Craig Lazzaretti and Deidre Seguenza, who was unable to attend. So Craig, you have the floor. Talk as much as you want. If you're elected, what will be your top priority?
Well, one of my top priorities to start with will be school safety. That was one of the factors that really drove me to both start engaging with my school district and school board and go to meetings last spring in the wake of the Parkland shooting massacre, and also a scare right here in our own district where our junior high had to shut down for a day because of a gun violence threat. And I saw how our students responded both locally and around the country to the events of last spring, and I was inspired to try to get involved and to make this a priority. I agree with the students from Parkland, Florida, that too much time has passed. We've waited too long for action to be taken on this important issue. The action is not coming from the top down, from Washington down, so it needs to come from the bottom up. Beyond that, I believe strongly in the importance of our district to be able to recruit and retain the best teachers. We've had concerns in our district over the last several months about an exodus of teachers as contract negotiations have dragged on. Teachers have complained that they are among the lowest paid in the county. And I believe that's something we need to address, because as a parent of children in this school district for over 10 years, I believe fervently that quality education begins and ends with quality teaching. We also have budget challenges. As is the case with many districts, but I think some of the challenges with our budget are more acute because of the nature of state funding. And so I'm really interested in working with district stakeholders and district staff to try to prioritize funding so that it has the most impact on the most students.
Let's go back to safety. You mentioned that change has to take place from the bottom up. Can a school district as small as Martinez make an impact on a national stage?
I think they can make an impact. I think if every school district and school board in this country spoke out the way the students in Parkland have spoke out, and the way students in our own school district spoke out last spring during the student-led walkouts, it can make a difference. I was disappointed in our school board and how they responded to this last spring.
How did they respond?
I don't believe they responded by, I believe they didn't respond really at all. They basically, the message they gave to our students when they walked out was to say, and I was at a board meeting when this happened, was to say, well, I hope your generation can fix this problem. I don't think that's the answer. I think we need to stand beside and in front of these students and lead them. I think the parent of Emma Gonzalez, when the Parkland students said it best on 60 Minutes, people say they're behind my daughter. Why don't they get in front of my daughter? Our school board didn't pass a resolution like some other school boards did in the area, the Contra Costa County Office of Education Board and the Mount Diablo Board, calling on state and national leaders to address the issue of school safety, to address the issue of gun violence. I think that was a very simple thing our board could have done, and to pass a resolution saying that we are tired of this problem, we want to see action, but they did not want to go there. Other boards went there, and I just don't see where this has been an area of focus for our board over the last several months. And just quickly, it's not just my opinion. This is what our school board, not our Teachers Association president, said on this matter at a school board meeting in June, several months after the Parkland and the incident, after Parkland and the incident at our own junior high. And this is what she said, quote, "I feel we need to spend more time on this issue. It is a top issue for educators and I believe parents in our community. I think parents need to know what steps are being taken. We cannot continue to carry on business as usual," end of quote. In the same comment she made, she asked why the board and the district still hadn't presented a security plan to staff and parents, why no one knew what this plan was to make our schools safer. And I think the reality was there wasn't a plan. The board did agree, the district did agree to create a special new safety committee, but it took over 6 months for that committee to hold its first meeting. Its first meeting was just held within the last couple weeks in September. The district and the board indicated they wanted to create that meeting, that committee, back in March. That's not urgency, in my opinion.
We talk about first shooter situations. You have children in the Martinez School District yourself. How do you prevent something like that from happening? What's your plan?
I think it's important to realize that there is no way to guarantee that a tragic situation or a violent incident won't occur. There's no 100% full safe, sure way to prevent tragedies. We have a problem with our gun culture in this country that's going to take years and years to solve. But at the same time, we need to do everything we can within our power, within our means, to make our schools as safe as possible and to make our children feel as safe as possible and staff feel as safe as possible. When I've gone to some of these events where I've heard students speak in the last several months, you can feel the tension, you can feel the concern, the anxieties in their voices. And as a district, students and teenagers in these days are under immense pressures, they're facing immense challenges, and this is just another one. So the first step is to let them know that you're taking this issue seriously, you want to work with them, that their voices count, their voices will be heard, and you're going to speak out. You're going to speak out for common sense gun laws. But not just, it doesn't just stop there. You're going to speak out on behalf of anti-bullying campaigns and programs to identify troubled youth who may pose a threat to themselves or others. And I'm glad to see that our district will be taking part in a county-wide program with the Sandy Hook Promise organization called Know the Signs, where we'll train staff members and teachers on how to identify the signs of possible violent threats in our schools. So it's really a multi-pronged approach, but it really starts with taking it seriously and making it a priority, not just when the next mass shooting happens and then going back to business as usual, because we've seen that for years. We've seen that since Sandy Hook. In the aftermath of Sandy Hook, everyone focuses on this issue for a while, and then they go back to business as usual and nothing changes. And unfortunately, we're seeing the same thing after Parkland.
You say your teachers are some of the lowest paid in the state. How do you go about obtaining the funding to attract more teachers and retain the teachers that you have?
Well, it's a challenge, and I think that we have to look carefully at the budget and where the budget is being directed in terms of our limited funds, and we have to set priorities. I mean, I believe as a parent for over 10 years, I've seen firsthand the difference a teacher can make in a child's life. And I've seen firsthand, especially how important they are for our most disadvantaged youth, our youth with learning disabilities and special ed programs. That's where the excess of teachers really concerns me, because lacking that continuity from year to year can really make it difficult to give children and students the support and services they really need to succeed, especially those who are more disadvantaged. So I think you have to start by making that a priority in your budget. I made a proposal at a recent board meeting that the school district should explore cutting what they need to cut out of the general fund budget in order to raise our teachers' total compensation up to the median level for the county as a whole. I believe Martinez teachers should at least be paid at the same level as teachers in surrounding school districts, be they Pittsburgh, Antioch, Mount Diablo, and I don't think that's the case. That's a fundamental issue, because if we can't pay our teachers comparably to other districts, we're not going to be able to recruit the best teachers, and we're not going to be able to retain them. And then everything else will suffer. You can try to maintain athletic programs or music programs or STEM programs or what have you, but if you don't have the quality teaching to support those programs and to support the students, you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. And so you may have to take a hard look at our budget and look at making hard choices. I'm hopeful that there will be finally a resolution to the dispute with our teachers over their contract in the coming weeks, so we can put this issue, the district can put this issue behind us and move forward. But I think going forward, we're going to have to make teaching and bringing aboard and retaining quality teachers a bigger priority.
Charter schools take funding away from the schools. Is there a place for them? Do you support charter schools?
Charter schools haven't really come up in our school district. We're a small district, and they haven't been proposed. Generally speaking, from what I've seen with charter schools in the past, I think they run the gamut. Some have been successful and have filled needs. Others have sucked precious resources and funds away from the traditional public schools and made it more difficult for those schools to serve students. So I really believe in the issue of charter and the topic of charter schools, and on almost every major issue that in education that generates division or controversy, you really have to look at it on a case-by-case basis. And you really have to look at the specific proposal and the merits of that proposal and really vet the proposal. I don't believe that, you know, if a charter school proposal was made in Martinez, I would look at it with an open mind. I would see what they actually were proposing. I would look at the details, and then I would make a decision. But I don't see charter schools as a panacea to the problems facing public education.
What kind of relationship do you want to have with your community if you're elected?
Well, I want to have a transparent relationship. I want them to feel confident and trust that their tax dollars are being spent responsibly, and they know how their tax dollars are being spent and that they're being spent efficiently. I want to hear their voices, and not just the voices of voters or adults, but the voices of children. I think our students' voices need to be heard in a bigger way in our community. The things that are concerning them, their priorities, what they think is most important. That doesn't mean that whatever the school, you just hold student surveys and whatever they want, they get. But I think we can learn an important lesson from the students of Parkland, Florida. They stepped forward, made their voices heard, and have brought about change. And sadly, they had to do that because adults just weren't stepping forward. And there's a lot of issues facing children that they can relate to and have unique perspectives on. And so I would want to hear from them. I would want to spend time at the schools and hearing what's on the minds of the students.
Okay, thanks. Craig Lazzaretti, you have 1 minute to make your final remarks.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank the voters of the Martinez Unified School District for considering me for a board seat in Area 3. I've been a parent of students in this district for over 10 years. I've seen firsthand, as I stated previously, the impact teachers can make on the lives of students at every level. I've had students in the elementary, junior high, and high school levels. I've worked directly with principals, counselors, teachers, and faculty to try to promote a healthy, productive educational environment for our student. And if I'm elected to your board, I will listen to your voice. I will welcome your voice. I will welcome your opinion, even when you don't agree with me, even when you think I'm messing up. Your voices will matter, and I will put our students first. I will put our staff first, and I will not allow us to go back to business as usual on some of these topics like school safety that have not received the attention and urgency they deserve. Thank you very much for your consideration.
All right, thank you, Craig. And that concludes our forum of candidates running for Martinez Unified School District in the November 6th general election. Once again, the candidates are Craig Lazzaretti and Deidre Seguenza, who was unable to attend. For more information on the candidates, visit the website votersedge.org. To view the broadcast, go online to cocovote.us. I'm Alan Wong, and don't forget to vote in the November 6th election. And remember, the deadline to register is October 22nd. Thank you for watching.